If you are seeing this, you just hit the lottery, the comedy lottery. It's PoliTicKING, and it's next. Every time. That makes me laugh every time. Welcome to a show where politics is a joke. It's PoliTicKING with Tony King. On tonight's show, we have Mayor ProTem of East Baton Rouge Parish, Lamont Cole. Also joining us is Constable Terrica and entrepreneur and philanthropist Brad Gordon. But first, we have to start the show how we do every show with the seriously unserious news report. Oh, that guy. The House of Representatives recently voted to expel controversial New York Republican George Santos amid a House ethics report that alleges that he violated federal laws. Santos is just the sixth representative in history and the third since the Civil War to be removed from the House. Regarding expulsion, at least a two-thirds majority is needed. The vote to expel easily cleared that hurdle with a 314 to 144 vote. 311 to 144. That means 105 Republicans joined 206 Democrats in expelling Santos. Who said they can't get nothing done in Congress, huh? Do you know how bad you gotta be to get both Republicans and Democrats to agree? I mean, does Congress agree on border security? Nope. Agree on adding money to the labor, health, and human services and the education budget? Mm-mm. Kick George Santos' ass out of Congress? Hell yeah. This is an interesting vote because when Santos was first elected, he was seen as a promising and rising star amongst the GOP. But as soon as he was elected, the lies began to unravel. And boy, do I mean lies. I mean, some of those lies include saying that he was Jewish. He's not. There are claims he performed in drag in Brazil, a claim he denies, though there's actual video footage of him performing drag in Brazil. He also has made claims that his mother was in the Twin Towers during 9/11, though immigration records show she wasn't even in the country at the time. George Santos lies more than the married man who's trying to cheat on his wife. Oh, nah, I'm just widowed for the kids. George Santos, when asked what his life after Congress would be like, he said, quote, starting an OnlyFans page and having fun. It's true, he really said that. The George Santos scandal and expulsion is such a compelling story. The creator and writer of the HBO series Veep, a series about a bumbling vice president played by Julie Louis-Dreyfus, is creating a project about him. But instead of Veep, it's going to be titled Creep. Keeping in politics, everyone tuned into the red state versus blue state debate between California Governor Gavin Newsom and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Fox News. They debated on topics such as crime, economics, and who had the crazier citizens. Florida won by a mile. The debate was odd, though, as it's not for an election. Only one participant, Ron DeSantis, is currently vying for the presidency. Well, kind of vying. Current polls show DeSantis behind frontrunner Trump by more than 47 points, which is what led to the sickest burn of the night. Newsom stated in response to DeSantis' claim that both of them had the same thing in common. Neither of them would be president. Oh, snap! Oh! The only way you can come back from a roast like that is just to say, yo mama. Former Speaker of the House, Republican Kevin McCarthy, recently sought to discredit re-election efforts of President Biden by claiming that he shouldn't be allowed to run because he's, quote, old and reads from cards. What makes this claim wild is that Kevin McCarthy made this statement while reading it from cards. Hello, pot. Meet kettle. Recently, a Democratic congressman is making news in his efforts to curb the fast-growing sports gambling industry. Representative PoliTicKIng, who hails from New York State, is seeking to create legislation to slow down one of the fastest growing industries. Tonko calls sports gambling a, quote, public health crisis and akins it to alcoholism. As more and more states are legalizing sports gambling, Representative Tonko wants to slow down an industry that made $193 billion last year, up from $173 billion the previous year. I'll bet you $10 he don't pass that legislation. Man trying to mess up my parlay. Speaking of sports betting, the college football playoffs are set. But it's not without some controversy, as the field of 4 teams was announced recently. Some fans were upset that an undefeated Florida State was left out in favor of a one-loss Alabama team. We got some fans in the house tonight. Even some fans thought that a 2-time national champion Georgia should have been included in the playoffs. Regardless of where you stand, whether you think it should be Bama or Florida State or Georgia, we can all agree on one team that shouldn't be there. Grambling. Just saying. Keeping with football, former NFL player Ryan Shazier made news this past week when his wife, Michelle, outed him on social media for allegedly cheating on her. She posted a series of racy text messages between him and his alleged mistress. Now, if you don't know about Ryan Shazier, he had a promising football career cut short when he suffered a spinal injury during a game that left him paralyzed for a short time. But once he regained the ability to walk, he walked right out the house and over to another woman and began blitzing those buns. Just saying. And that's going to do it for tonight's Seriously Unserious News Report. We have a great show for you tonight. Joining us next is the Mayor ProTem of East Baton Rouge Parish, Lamont Cole. Stay tuned. It's PoliTicKIng.
It's on forever!
Sheer size and strength of Knighton, unaffected by Bronson's chop in that corner. And look at this, Uranagi driving Hunter almost.
It's the end. No, because it's the end. No, because it's the end. It's the end of you, and it's the end of everything.
Wow, what's up? This is your people, Manny Fresh, and you watching Mad Game Entertainment. You heard me? Don't change that.
Welcome back to a show that is going to celebrate Kwanzaa just so I won't have to buy gifts this year. It's PoliTicKIng with Tony King. Joining us is the Mayor ProTem of East Baton Rouge Parish, Lamont Cole. Welcome, man. Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
So I said Mayor ProTem, council member, but one thing that's always left out is you are a principal.
Yeah.
Of a whole
absolutely.
school. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like an educator.
Absolutely.
Dealing with our bad
26 years.
kids.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, 26 years.
Dealing with our not always good kids.
Dealing with our kids who sometimes make bad decisions.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. See, that's principal speak. So one thing I wanted to ask you is, how do you juggle it all, man? That's pretty hard. Education requires a lot, but then also city needs require a lot. How do you juggle it?
Just get it done. Not much sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
all of us have the same amount of time each day.
Yeah.
That's how we choose to use it. I choose to use mine educating our children and helping our people.
And I choose mine, mainly looking at the internet, looking at TikTok.
Yeah. I do a little bit of that too.
Okay, all right,
They got to do that to stay up to date, stay current.
Yeah, I spend my time watching women do the ceiling challenge on Instagram.
I do a little bit of that too.
Yeah. Hello.
I do a little bit of that too.
So one question I want to ask, because, you know, I say mayor pro tem, most people don't know what that means. That's what, vice mayor, pretty much, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If you think of the United States and the president and vice president relationship, in our plan of government, it's the same relationship. If something happens to the mayor, I take over the same way the vice president is head of Congress. I'm the head of our legislative body, which is the city council.
Yeah. So you've been serving in that position for how long?
3 years.
Wow.
First African-American male to be elected for a full term.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that deserves, that's good stuff. So being that close, first of all, running our Metro Council, and then also, you know, serving the district that you serve, what are some of the needs that you see in Baton Rouge? Things that we can improve upon, things that we need to address?
I think deployment of resources in underserved communities is the biggest challenge we have in the city of Baton Rouge. We have a city that is predominantly African American and a council that's predominantly white, right? Those numbers don't make sense when you think about the population of people and the people we serve. So anytime we seek to move the needle in terms of meeting the needs of underserved community, we have to go and ask for the support of those who don't spend time in those underserved communities. That's a challenge, because if you don't spend time there, you don't know what the needs are, and then you will quickly say, no, I don't want to help those people in that area when I don't spend any time in that area. I think that's the biggest challenge we have.
And they don't have a vested interest there.
Don't have a vested interest and don't even understand what the needs are because they don't spend any time there. You know, I think we're doing a better job of inviting council members who don't live in those areas to come and see for themselves. But even at that, that's just a pass-through. And when you're passing through, that's typically when you're passing through when it's safe. You need to be there at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning when there's gunshots, right? You need to be there when their kids are getting out of school and there are challenges in the community. You need to be there on the streets when neighbors and when the residents are talking about some of the issues that they're dealing with day to day. Coming for a parade, coming for an event, that's good, but that's not enough.
It's cosmetic. Now, so essentially what you're saying is that our city government almost mirrors national government, where a minority of people affect the lives of the majority of the population.
I wouldn't say it that way, but I would say the majority of the people are not represented in the way they should be. It's not the minority, because I think it's about even in the parish. Right? And, you know, we have a city parish form of government. It's just in the city we make up more than white folk in the city of Baton Rouge.
So then how can we navigate around it? How can we legislate around it to where those underserved communities that you're talking about can still get those resources that are necessary while not upsetting or offending any other district that maybe they represent?
Well, we filed a lawsuit, and we need a judge to do the same thing he did with the legislature and create another congressional district. We need a judge to create another majority black district here in the city of Baton Rouge so that the numbers would be 6-6. So right now we have 7 whites, 5 blacks. If we had 6 black and 6 whites, they would need us to get something passed, and we would need them to get something passed. Right now, they don't never need us to get anything passed. There's 7 of them. We've done a better job with this council and my colleagues currently of working across the aisle and helping them to understand the needs and vote with us on various different items. But we could do more, right? When it was time to vote on having a 6-6 council, they voted 7-5 against us, and so those are the challenges.
Who would want to share power? I mean, power always wants to maintain, and as long as they have 7, you know, what is going to compel them to say, hey, okay, we'll give you 1? Like, what is the incentive for them?
No, there's no incentive for them. That's why we need a judge to come in and make that decision for us.
Do you see that happening anytime soon?
Well, you know, we're hopeful. They did it for the state, right? So we're hoping when a judge looks at the lawsuit, looks at the population, looks at the district, looks at the gerrymandering, he says, you know what, the city of Baton Rouge deserves a 6 majority minority district.
So how long would that take? Because even on the state level, that's taking some time.
Well, we hope that a judge will look at it and make a decision before July of 2024, when is the next election. Because you're supposed to do it using the most recent census data. And so we're hoping a judge, we filed a lawsuit, the NAACP filed on our behalf, and we're hoping that a judge will look at it and say, hey, they deserve another majority district, and we'll get that. And then in 24, the citizens will be voting on that.
Now, I have a question. Speaking of judges, you know, it quiets down, then it comes back up, then it quiets down and comes back up again. The St. George efforts.
Got you.
And recently, it was just reported by the Advocate that those that are pushing for the St. George breakoff are taking this case to the Louisiana Supreme Court. Is there anything that we need to worry about?
There's always something to be worried about when you know, an individual or a small amount of individuals are going to make a decision about such a huge issue, right?
Yeah.
But we won in the 19th.
Yeah.
We won at the First Circuit unanimously, right? 3 judges at the First Circuit voted in favor of St. George not being ready to incorporate, and so we're hoping the same thing happens at the Supreme Court. I can tell you this, we had some attorneys who did a really good job for our side, so to speak.
So let me ask this, just playing devil's advocate. Let's say that this ruling in the Louisiana Supreme Court did not go the way that the city hoped for.
Okay.
Then what? What would happen?
Well, then the city of St. George would be allowed to incorporate. That'll be $54 million immediately coming from the budget, which means that people who live in Brookstown, South Baton Rouge, Eden Park, Fairfield, Bear Fair would be most affected by not receiving the services that are already undermanned. Those services would be even hurt more as a result of St. George incorporating. And then in addition to that, we'd be responsible for providing them with services they don't already have, like fire, like crime prevention in terms of police, because they don't have a police department.
Right.
So we'd be responsible for doing that, even though they say in their plan the sheriff has agreed, the sheriff testified in court that he didn't agree to provide the support for them in terms of crime prevention and policing in that area. So many of the services trash that we pay, we just saw an increase here in the city of Baton Rouge. We'd be responsible for providing that service in their city as well. So we would lose a lot of money, and in addition to it, we'd lose a lot of manpower. And we know when we lose money, we lose manpower, our people in underserved communities are affected the most.
You know what that sounds like?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
A divorce.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Like, you gonna break away from me and I still gotta pay?
That's right. That's right.
You gonna take all this money
every dime.
and I still gotta take your trash out?
Every dime. Every dime. Yeah, absolutely. You called it just right. So I'm gonna stay married.
Hey, it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep St. George.
You said it, I didn't.
So, but it's an issue that affects all of us,
That's right.
and we definitely need to stay aware, not just with that, but anything that's going on in local and city government. Again, we thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you
This
come
was
back
fun,
again.
Man.
I
This
told
was fun.
you, didn't
Have
I?
me again, man.
And then tell
Yeah.
everybody on the Metro
Yeah,
Council.
I will.
Let them know.
I will.
Tell
You
the
should.
other 7 that don't answer our calls.
I'll let them know.
Okay, that's
I'll
what I'm
let
talking
'em
about.
know.
Hey, Lamont
Thank
Cole,
you, brother.
appreciate it. Thanks
it.
so much.
All right. All right.
Stick around. We have more politicking coming up next. You don't want to miss it.
Phoenix Air Spa provides its customers with a soothing environment, incomparable professional services, and extraordinary results. Relax, recharge, and re-emerge anew at Phoenix Air Spa, always aesthetically you.
Advertising and operating a business go hand in hand. Mad Game Entertainment has a long, detailed history of working within clients' budgets and delivering big results. Mad Game helped launch the popular Go Vote app. We've been involved with several successful political campaigns. We assist the everyday marketing needs for small businesses and many other organizations. We custom fit marketing plans for the largest budget and the most modest. We look forward to enhancing your presence in your industry.
Every time. Welcome back to a show that is wondering, why the Saints won't fire Dennis Allen? I mean, like, it's politicking with Tony King. Normally during this segment, I get a little serious about politics, but I'm be kind of over the place, right? I'm gonna venture a little off. So please just follow me. Just give it time. No, that's what I want to talk to you about. Just give it time. In time, what will ultimately turn 2 isn't. Like, it'll be, but it's not gonna be. Just give it time. Historically, the Democratic Party was seen as the party that was most aligned with slaveholders, racists, and segregationist sympathizers. Now they are the party that is most publicly welcoming to not just black people, but Latinx people, members of the LGBTQ+ community, and women's rights. Meanwhile, the party that freed the slaves and fought to keep the Union together is now the party that does this. Just give it time. I mean, think about it. Ronald Reagan was an actor who was in charge of the Screen Actors Guild in the 40s and 50s. In the 80s, he was president. In the 80s and early 90s, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the biggest action star in the world. In the 2000s, governor of California. In the 2020s, he back to acting again. In the 80s and 90s, Donald Trump was a billionaire playboy who bragged about his money and getting women. And in the 2020s, well, he's still doing that, but he was also president and may be again. Just give it time. This is why I never offer an opinion on current political situations, because what may seem right now may not in the next year or 2 or 10. Think about it. In 1938, Adolf Hitler was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. It's true. And in 1939, he invaded Poland and kicked off a major world war while committing one of the worst mass atrocities in human history. And see, we see this well beyond politics. Snoop Dogg once rapped, "Murder was the case." Now he's hanging out with Martha Stewart, the queen of home goods. Now he's singing "Martha was the case." Side note, Martha Stewart was once a daytime media darling, and she did fair time. She's a felon. Ice-T once received controversy for his song "Cop Killer." And for the last 23 years, he's played a cop. Just give it time. And there are countless evidence of this. Look at Bill Cosby then, and Bill Cosby now. Ice Cube then, Ice Cube now. Look at Will Smith then, Will Smith now. At this rate, The Rock is about to be on death row. The pendulum always swings, and it's why whenever a political party has full control of all branches of government, it always comes back. Just give it time. So for those who may be concerned about what a Landry administration may mean for Louisiana, don't worry. Time will tell. It always does. I mean, think about us here. I mean, today you see politicking with Tony King, but soon we will be Emmy award-winning politicking. I told you. Just give it time. It's politicking. We'll be back.
With the rise of racism and peace being taken from the world, it leaves a person to wonder, what's going on in the world? Sadly, these things are not going away. Read The Dog Whistleblower to find the link between racism and the coming Armageddon.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Channing Blake. I'm the Assistant Director of Athletics here at Louisiana Leadership Institute. Primarily, we want to concentrate on basketball right now. And so if you have a kid that wants to build their game, build their skills, become a better student, and also a better athlete, by all means, please come and see us over here at the Leadership Institute. Thank you. God bless.
Mad Game ENT.
Mad Game ENT. Mad Game TV.
Mad Game Entertainment.
Mad Game Entertainment. Mad Game Entertainment.
Mad Game Entertainment.
Mad Game Entertainment. Stay tuned, homie.
It's Friday night, and you're now clocked in on the late shift with Will Merrow.
And this Mad Game presents Friday Night Flows. Let's kick it off like this, baby.
Now, laugh later.
And lock it in. We'll be right back with more cocktails, conversations, and me.
JK Lee Sports. Watching this on YouTube? Make sure you click that like and subscribe button on the MGE network. Holla.
to a show that is wondering why Walmart always asks to check my receipt when I go through self-checkout. You don't trust me, then don't let me check myself out. It's PoliTicKIng, and it's time for our panel. Our first guest is the Constable of the city of Baton Rouge and the first black female constable. There we go. Constable Terrica Williams. And our next guest, philanthropist and entrepreneur, who is the co-owner of the newest night spot, Sky Baton Rouge. Give it up for Brad. Sky Baton Rouge. Sky Baton Rouge. So, Brad, first of all, thank you all for being here, giving us your time. I want to start with you. Sky Baton Rouge, first of all, I love the place. I've had a chance to hang out, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. But we've seen some news of maybe some other establishments maybe around town that have made national news where, you know, maybe some people have issue about the nightlife here in Baton Rouge. As an owner, as someone who's been involved in nightlife for years, have you experienced any challenges while just trying to, you know, operate and run your business? And it may not necessarily be Sky Baton Rouge. It could be any other thing because you've been a part of nightlife here and entertainment in Baton Rouge for some time.
So let's speak to the challenges, because I believe that you're representing Boiling Root.
I didn't want to say it.
It's facing.
I didn't want to say it. Yes.
I think it's important that we say who it is. That from a standpoint of they have received a lot of unfair treatment. They have been robbed of their due process and a lot of these things. There has been several efforts to entrap them in doing some things, and in all honesty, the issue that they're facing like quite a few other black-owned businesses, concepts have faced, is that they operate in a culturally black manner. Literally, the larger your success, the blacker the concept, the greater the pushback that you face. And as a parish, as a city, however you want to look at it, we're at a bit of a crossroads, and the future of the parish has been decided. You know, the math is the math.
Right.
But we have to make our peace with that, that we ain't going backwards, that we're going forward.
And okay, so it's interesting that you say that, because that's kind of piggybacking off of what Council Member and Mayor ProTem Lamont said in the earlier segment, and that is that we have a certain population. But one thing that if that's true, and I say that just because, you know, I have to, because I want to be here next week on the show. Just keeping it real. But if that's true, that's something that we don't see in other cities. Why do we think we see that in a city like Baton Rouge, where entertainment is something that is constantly kind of getting that pushback?
So other cities has had to cross this particular Rubicon before.
Rubicon, man, you are using some big. Man, I got to look that up.
Yeah, other cities has had to face this challenge before.
Yeah.
It really takes. It doesn't take a great deal of will.
Yeah.
It takes a small amount of will, and it takes a few reasonable people to come to the table. One, get to know one another culturally.
Yeah.
Two, people from my side of the aisle, you know, we have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
If we don't like the rules, then we have to follow a process in which to protest or make changes to those rules.
Yeah.
But we have to operate within the spirit of those rules, which is why I don't mind saying things like this, because I operate within the spirit.
And there we go.
I tell everybody, I don't mind if you come pay a little sneaky visit, that's fine, because hey, I tend to just follow the rules.
It's transparency.
I tend to follow the rules, man.
But you said something that kind of goes to a greater issue that we have, and this is PoliTicKIng, and that is operating within the system. You know, if you don't like something, being able to operate within the system. That system oftentimes is voting. Yes. And I'd be remiss not to say that our voting efforts have been below what has been
our recent voting efforts.
Our recent voting.
We're voter fatigue right now, or whatever.
Okay.
We voted at historically high levels for probably the last since 2000 and
wait.
What year was that? 2008. or whatever.
Well, that's
2008.
history, and that's an anomaly. So,
But no, since then.
Well, no.
Up until this recent
we
cycle.
have not crossed a 50% registered voter turnout since the last election. That was our last midterm, 2022.
That's what I'm saying.
That was 46%.
That's what I'm saying.
46% was the highest that we've had.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even half of the registered voters have come out. And so on average, what we have is somewhere around 26%.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that's less than ideal.
Right.
And that's kind of, okay, so you're an elected official.
Yes.
As an elected official, how does that impact you that we are having, I believe, less than ideal voter turnout? How does that affect you?
Well, I can't speak to the low voter turnout because when I ran for office in 2018, of course I won 57% of the votes.
Speak on it. Start with it.
And it was a election that wasn't a big election, as they say. So we had to push people to the polls, but of course hard work and just determination to get out there and ask people to vote.
Yeah.
They will vote, you just have to do it the right. I do grassroots. I don't do relying on somebody else. I walk streets, I'm not gonna do it.
So you don't have a campaign manager that you would pay $25,000 to and then they won't?
I don't have $25,000.
Oh, okay.
But I did have a campaign manager who was great, Terrence Lockett. I would
Okay.
stand on Terrence Lockett, and I appreciate him because he did come forward and he helped me out. And I'm sure they probably charged that amount, but I had
but you
$50
won
in
though.
faith.
You
Yes.
won though.
I had $50 in faith when I started my campaign.
And he worked hard for you.
And he worked hard, and we made it work.
And you did not ignore a segment of voters.
No.
And there you go.
Yeah, I went everywhere. Nobody was. I had people who would text me and say, "I never voted before. This is my first time voting. I'm voting for you." I had people who had been in prison who thought they couldn't vote and just didn't understand that I can actually gain my voting rights back. So you have to educate the people that they can go back and vote. Once the time go by, they go back and they have to reapply for the voting rights. They can't just show up at a poll and go vote. They have to reapply and get their rights back. So once I educated the people, I had some people who, like they say in the mud, I had people coming out the mud voting for me.
So it's interesting because you all, though, in two different arenas, kind of run parallel lives because you're both affected by what voters do, directly and kind of indirectly based upon what, city standards or any other municipalities, municipal codes that may be put out there. So if you had to say something right now to the voters in terms of how it affects your business, because we hear how it affects her directly in terms of you, whether like the situation where you have, some that may feel certain ways or try and prevent those obstacles, what would you tell a registered voter now in terms of how their vote indirectly affects how you run your business and make your livelihood?
I don't know. That's a little bit of a challenge for me to articulate, to draw a line or parallels to that or whatever. I would just say that with everything that we have seen, even things that we're taught in school historically about what black people, what people of African descent have gone through in this country in order to have the right to have an opinion in how they're governed, that only a fool would not exercise their right to vote or whatever. And I would say that in large, we should probably focus at local elections a lot closer than we do presidential elections, especially judicial races. We pay very little attention to people that actually have the ability to sit up high above you in a courtroom and slam a gavel and decide your fate. And that's insanity to me.
So you know what? We're gonna put a quick pin in that. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back right here with Constable Terrica Williams as well as entrepreneur Brad Gordon. Stay tuned. It's PoliTicKING.
We have got to find new ways to increase our revenue.
Sir, we can increase our revenue sales by enhancing our social media presence.
Yeah, so does anybody else have an idea?
We can clearly increase our revenue sales by enhancing our social media presence.
Great idea.
Has this ever happened to you?
Make a bold statement. Upgrade your wardrobe at Super Cool Fashions.
Thanks, Super Cool.
Super Cool Fashions located at 6180 Airline Highway.
Hello everyone, I'm Brandon Griffin, aka Mr. Grip.
I'm Bentley, the hip hop barber pole.
The Hip Hop Barbershop offers the best haircuts.
We service ladies too, Grip.
Ladies, we can do your eyebrows and your cut as well.
We welcome walk-ins, but tell them about the online booking.
That's right. You can book an appointment online as well, or give us a call at 225-252-7773.
We know the flavor, neighbor.
From classic cop shows to comedies, entertainment shows to retro movies, nature, sci-fi, and talk shows, plus original programming from local curators, WBTR 36 is your one-stop shop to watch the television you love. In connection with this TV, WBTR is your home for the content you crave. So sit back, relax, and tune into television that the entire family can enjoy. WBTR 36, Baton Rouge, television for the family.
Faculty treated my kids like they were their own.
Shiloh is a place where, you know, your kids can come and be themselves.
The staff is very open to things that the parents have to say.
To enroll your child in Shiloh's Early Learning Academy, call 225-343-4734.
I'm gonna do the next show in the wife beater. Welcome back to a show that is excited that it's almost W2 season. Just a few days away. It's PoliTicKIng. We're back with our guest panel. So we've kind of been talking about, you know, going back and forth with the issues of nightlife. We kind of spoke during the commercial break about just how we handle things. I've been mislabeling what Sky Baton Rouge is. I've been saying an entertainment venue. And I guess it's because I have so much fun with it. You know, when I go, not only do I have, you know, good drinks and good food, but, you know, you just brought up a good point.
We're a restaurant.
It's a restaurant.
We're a casual dining restaurant.
A casual dining restaurant that you just gonna have fun in. You know, it's gonna be nice.
You're gonna get a culturally black experience.
Okay, so that's a good point. A culturally black experience. Mm-hmm. But it's in an area that is not traditionally culturally black. Mm-hmm. Do you think that might be why some people, not saying Sky Baton Rouge, but why some who may own restaurants in non-culturally black areas, do you think that may be why there may be those that try to trap and create obstacles?
Look, possible bigotry and or a lack of understanding of people's of a group who's culturally different than yours. Yeah. That's everybody's God-given right or whatever. But what's also everybody's God-given right is the right to earn a living, the right to participate in commerce, the right to you know, enjoy this capitalistic society that we live in. Yes. And with that being said, the future of Baton Rouge is by us working together. Even if we don't like one another, we have to figure out a way to work together. Those that have been empowered and are in power have to figure out and understand that we live in a society now to where there's always someone watching and there's always someone listening. Yeah. So your power is not as omnipotent as it may have been once before.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. You done threw out Rubicon.
Omnipotent. Yeah.
You done threw out a few others,
Where's
man.
your dictionary?
Are you a part of the dictionary.com word of day program?
No, I'm not.
Do you listen to the TI podcast? Because you are using omnipotent.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up, man. That's but no, you do make a good point. The power is not all centralized, but the people always are gonna have the power. My thing is that I believe that those who have an issue with those who may have a culturally different dining experience, a culturally different social experience while dining, regardless of the area, it's my belief that you should be enthusiastic about that.
Right.
Because if they're not there,
and look,
they're going to be somewhere else.
And look, here's the other side of it. It's also our responsibility as business owners to make sure that how we move and operate doesn't impede upon your right as a neighbor or a residential member, to abstain a certain quality of life, or whatever. And so we have to find a way to work together.
Yeah.
But, and I have said this, and I will continue to say this, at some point we have to have a meeting of the minds and come up with rules that speak to where things are at and where they're going, that are clear, not convoluted. There are no shades of gray. Either you are following the rules or you're not.
Convoluted, man.
And you missed the P too. He said a P too. Did you catch that one?
I did. Impede, convolute, man. You are on it. So, but here's the thing. Isn't that the responsibility of organizations like the Chamber? Why wouldn't they? I mean, you just mentioned commerce, capitalism, all of those different things. Those businesses that are good, that employ people, that is good for the city of Baton Rouge. Those are economic opportunities, not just for citizens, but it just so happens to be culturally diverse citizens. Why wouldn't someone like the Chamber or any of these other things? Now, I'm not calling them out, but I'm saying, isn't that the purpose of business support organizations, not directly them?
I can't really personally speak to efforts that they have made or have not made. That would be unfair of me because
I'm
I
not
truly
saying
don't
that.
know.
I'm saying, wouldn't that be the purpose of a business support organization, to support and to help businesses to try to bridge that gap between maybe them, like you said, or the residents surrounding? Because here's the thing, like you said, every business, if operating in a quality and above board manner, you are following the laws, regardless of what someone may think of that business. If it is a legal business, they have a right to be able to earn money.
Right.
Modest and small business is the backbone of this economy.
Right.
Why would we hinder that just because, they may look different, or they may be playing ski-ee?
So the crust of the issue of Boiling Roof has been about noise pollution. But do you know that there is no governance for noise pollution for commercial businesses?
What is noise pollution? Like, does it make you sick?
It can. I have seen and heard noise pollution, no doubt about it.
I mean, when a woman is nagging, that's noise pollution.
Oh, wow. No, not hey, the Constable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost got arrested real quick just for noise pollution.
Was a woman.
No doubt about it. But there is no legal law that says or dictates what the decibel level is for commercial businesses or whatever. So that's where you have this shade of gray. And the problem becomes so let's say you are the complaining party and you have the support of your local councilman or councilwoman, and let's say that they have the ear of the governing body, the ABC board, this, that, and the other. Well, that's taxpayer dollars that are spent to fight that case. But you as the business owner, you're leveraging your hard-earned capital to pay your attorney fees that you can never recoup even if you win. So even if you win, you can still lose by attrition. So the game and the battle that you have to fight as a business owner is so long and so strategic, and you can almost never win the game.
Yeah.
But so that's why the rules that there are really kind of no rules. We'll figure it out and we'll leave it up to, if you're saying we're wrong, well, you can just sue us then. Well, it costs money for you as a business to sue every time. So you're literally through attrition, especially in this economy when capital is just not flowing the way that it used to flow. So you're already, black businesses are already the most uncapitalized businesses that you're going to find in any economy. So the battles that you have to fight, literally just to present a product that the people that are most likely to patronize you are going to want to partake in, is insane. It's insane, but we're not going anywhere. That's the thing that I need people to understand. That Baton Rouge, we're already the majority of registered voters in the parish. We're not going anywhere. So can we just, if we come to the table,
yeah.
There's at some point
there's a happy medium that can be that can be filled.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. You look at a market that in the last 5 years has literally become the new mecca in the U.S. of urban bar restaurant concepts. Houston. Houston was very much in the same place that we are in 2018.
That's my hometown.
Houston was in the same. You remember? Look, we would go to Houston. Yeah. They were like, oh, we're in Houston. What we gonna do? Nothing. No, really.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You would go out to some failing business concept that, hey, bring this promoter in.
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
Yeah.
And they went through this where they had to figure things out.
Yeah.
You go out in Houston. You go to places that have an outdoor area, outdoor space.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
The vibe outside stays the same, but the music goes to an ambient voice, to an ambient level.
Yeah.
But that is like a universal rule. It's clear. It's not convoluted.
Yeah.
And everything can work and flow and operate that way. But they had to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we got to get to a point in place that we got to understand that, man, the world is every day is getting shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And so information is more accessible. Yeah. So even people that are formerly uneducated in business, we still have a chance to go and move forward and figure out how to do things and how to scale things.
Now, you bring up a good point about this economy, and I really feel that because I've noticed that people are charging almost 1-to-1 for food stamps now, like $50 in food stamps. You used to be able to get that.
You can't talk about that in front of the police.
Oh,
and then you can't do that in front of the police.
I heard that. It ain't me. It ain't me. I heard that. So okay. You bring up a good point. You are the law enforcement officer. You actually have to enforce a ton of things. Run us through your daily life as constable.
Oh wow. I wake up early in the morning. Oh. You heard the voice in my ear, so I can tell that. I wake up early in the morning because I have a lot to do. Of course, most people see the constables as these mean people that come out and do evictions, civil mandates, repossessions, seizures, bench warrants. We're not going to do it early in the morning for warrants.
I know I've not answered.
See, I'm going to tell them next time, call me to get you out the house. I'm like, Tony King, this me, this the constable, you coming out. But no, and because of the negative stuff we do, and it's basically what the court mandates, it's not what the constables want to do, especially not me. That's not what I want to do, but I have to do it because that's what I took the oath to say that I will do it.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of positive stuff, like giving back toys, turkey giveaways, and I wake up early in the morning trying to figure out what can I do next to help somebody? How can I help the next person? How can I find 300 turkeys to give to somebody? How can I find 1,500 toys to give to some kids? Yeah. So we try to do positive stuff so people can see that police are not bad people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a lot of good officers.
And it's interesting that you say that because, you know, for some people may say, okay, we have so many different branches here. And, you know, you all have to go through, like, intense training just to even get to a certain point. Like, is it true that in order to be an officer with the constable's office, you have to go through, like, training where they actually tase you and mace you?
Yes, yes. For sure. Yes. Really? Oh, yes, we do. We go through, most people, before I was the constable, a lot of people didn't know what constables were. They said park rangers, security guards. So now people do understand what constables are because we do training. We go through the same police academy that any other agency go through, Baton Rouge City Police, the sheriff's office. The constable is actually the sheriff in the city. Everything that the sheriff do in the parish is what I do in the city. Of course, being a female in the position, it was a little challenging.
The first black and youngest female. I mean, I gotta say that now.
And it was a little challenging because they said that, you know, a female couldn't do the job. I wasn't the person for the position. They didn't think I would make it, and of course, I'm in 5 years now. Next year is my year, and I'm not campaigning, but I'm campaigning.
Hello, hey, it's PoliTicKIng. Go ahead and do that.
Oh, yeah, that's right, PoliTicKIng with Tony King.
There we go.
I'm running for constable next year. Yes, my race come up in November. November the 5th, as a matter of fact, 2024.
Yes.
I'm praying nobody get in my race, but if so, I'm ready to run my race.
You stand on your record. You stand on what you've done. You stand on everything that Now, back to this mace thing. You actually were maced.
Oh, yes. I was maced and tased. Yes. In order to carry a taser, you have to be, not every agency, but the constable's office required that you're tased. Now, I started with the sheriff's office. EBR. And when I went through the police academy, that's where I went through at the sheriff's office. And of course, there you go, the sheriff, he's a little lenient. The only thing you do is get like a little stick on your leg. When I came to the constable's office, you have to be like shot with the prongs in your back.
Oh.
Yes.
So we kind of have something in common.
Oh, you been tased?
I ain't been tased, but I've been maced.
Oh, you been maced?
Yeah, she was tough, man.
I was about to say, what's her name? What was her name? What did you do? Did you make her mad? Wait, and when she maced you, did you rub it in or did you?
When she maced me, I didn't believe she maced me. I was like, oh, I'm being maced, and I did rub it in. And then I was blurry, and then I realized she was chasing me. So then I started running.
Oh, Lord.
And the wind was in my eye.
See, what happened was...
So, essentially, I could be Constable. No, I'm joking. No. Terrica for Constable.
Yes, Terrica for Constable.
But no, so you have your race coming up, because Constable is what, every 6 years, correct?
Every 6 years.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. It's been a great 6 years for me. And it's funny that you bring Brad up here with me. This is my son. And Brad, and I was like, when I walked in, I didn't know who was here.
Yeah.
But when I saw Brad here, I was like, oh, my son here, so I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Then I saw some people in the audience that, you know.
Well, you know.
Yeah, some people that.
We got the best audience in the business.
I know.
I mean, they're just.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I walked in, I was like, I don't know what I'm walking into, but I'm ready for it. So I'm ready for my race and my next 6 years because I deserve those 6 years.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You heard it, and you know what? I would love to talk to you all forever. Please make it a point to come on back because we have so much to talk about, so much to unpack. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. Brad, Sky, Baton Rouge, make sure you go out there. Delicious wings.
Hold up. You've tried the fried turkey?
I need to try the fried turkey.
God.
As a matter of fact, we're going to have our first.
on the menu.
Oh, so she get the special.
Yes,
that was
my son. What did I tell you?
That was for the constable's office.
That was for the okay, so
it was good.
I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna put Brad on the spot. But we're gonna have our season 1 rap party at Sky Baton Rouge, and we're gonna have fun and dine and enjoy a great establishment at Sky Baton Rouge.
Can I come? I won't be in uniform. I'll be in regular clothes.
Come on. Come on. We're going to have fun.
I like to eat.
It's a restaurant. We're just going to sit back, relax, and chill.
Yes.
There we go. Sky Baton Rouge, Constable Terrica Williams, thank you all so much for coming. Hey, stick around. We got more PoliTicKING coming up next. Don't miss it.
Got this nerd bird. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, you ready, son? You ready? No. What the? I mean, do my bow. How he get her anyway?
He ain't been bow music. Get him every time.
Oh, he said bow music.
What's up? This is your girl Megan Good, and I want to give a shout out to Mad Game ENT.
I'm watching PoliTicKING with Tony King.
Boy, you can't even tell they've been drinking wine on commercial break, huh? Welcome back to a show that's letting you know it's scamming season. I didn't mean it like that. It's PoliTicKING. Authorities in Tangipahoa are warning residents to be careful of scammers claiming to be energy and asking for money. I know how it feels to be scammed. It just happened to me. Now, I have to give you a warning because I got an email today that said, thank you for your purchase. I was like, what purchase? And I clicked on it and boom, spam. Got me. So if you get a crazy message from me, that's why. But it made me think about how people are scamming out here. But not all scams are obvious. There are some scams that are scams but are not scams, but are scams. No, not that guy. No. I know what you're thinking, not him. I mean, he is scamming the 25,000. He's scamming, but that's neither here nor there. But that brings us to tonight's top five scams you need to watch out for. He's an honorable mention. Coming in at number 5, the Nigerian prince emails. You know the ones that say, I'm a Nigerian prince, and if you send me $5,000, I'll send you $500,000 back. And no knock to Nigerians, but it's kind of hard to trust guys who wear tuxedo shoes with wind pans. I'm just saying. Coming in at number 4, top 5 scams, social media content creators. It's funny to me that social media companies have convinced everybody in the world to work for them for free. All the content is created by us, we doing all the work, and they make all the money. But if you post more, like all day more, and if you get 1 million views, they'll give you a pizza party. Sounds like working a regular job to me. Coming in at number 3, top 5 scams you need to watch out for, Whole Foods. They brand themselves as having foods that are whole and pure. But in reality, they had the same old foods that every other regular grocery store got. Just with a higher price. They need to change the name from Whole Foods to High Foods. Coming in at number 2, student loans. How is it that at 18, you can give me tens upon tens of thousands of dollars to go to college, but if I need a loan for anything else at 18, nope. Hell, I can't even get a loan now, and I got income. And at 18, I wasn't responsible. I was barely taking a shower every day, and you gave me $50,000 for school? It's your fault I ain't pay it back. That was a bad decision by you. Maybe you need a business plan. And coming in at number 1, top 5 scams, marriage. Enough said. And that's gonna do it for tonight's show. Special thanks to Mayor ProTem Lamont Cole, Constable Terrica Williams, and entrepreneur Brad Gordon. Be sure to check out Sky Baton Rouge, and shouts out to Upstate Theater. Y'all are the real unsung heroes out here, for real. Shouts out to the real unsung hero, Alexander T. Scott, Kiesel and Bird, Johnny Jones, the best floor manager in the game, Mad Game Productions, and of course the livest audience in the building. Let's go. I love y'all, man. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are amazing, which is why we get you drunk every show with wine. Be sure to catch me in Hammond for New Year's Eve and at the Comedy House New Orleans on February 24th. Follow me on all social media. Until next time, boy, they drunk up in here. We out this thing. Boy, they drinking.